What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. And just for the purpose of this, I normally but don't, but I'm a very big Assassin's Creed fan, always have been. I thought the first one, which I'm a huge fan of, I love the Desmond Miles character. I thought it was this really turns into what type of Assassin's Creed fan are you? Because originally it was, did you like Desmond Miles in the modern day, or did you not? I did. I thought it all should have been leading to a modern day Assassin's Creed where you used what you were learning, which was the point of it all. We found out where you used what you were learning in the previous games to finally be the pinnacle assassin in modern day, and you stop the Solar Flare and stop the Templars. Blah blah blah. We never got that storyline, and they killed Desmond off. And I think it's frankly all been downhill from there. Did we get Black Flag like right after it? Yes, it was great, but Desmond was still missing. You could still feel the absence. And as the best of the Assassin's Creed stories got pushed into books and comics and audiobooks, the games became just generic AF. And even though there were things to like in Valhalla, because Darby came back, Darby Do It or whatever, other than that, they're just generic open world fantasy games that have very little to do with what made Assassin's Creed special. And that was the altered timeline with the Isu civilization and the battle between freedom and control of Templars and Assassins. So all that said, here is the Assassin's Creed boss, for lack of a better term, Mark Alexis Cotier, claiming that they will have a narrative evolution for the franchise that will attempt to revive its present day storylines. Because yes, other than Layla being a horrible modern day character and seeing William Miles instead of Desmond Miles, seeing his dad, there's very little modern day. I didn't even pay attention to what happened with Mirage. So this all comes out from Eurogamer. There was that BAFTA event where we got several people talking, but here's what he said. When the Assassin's Creed franchise was created, it introduced a bold and innovative narrative structure, a modern day story arc centered around Desmond that was intertwined with historical adventures. And I loved it just like it was. Desmond's journey was at the heart of the modern day conflict, driving the search for powerful Isu artifacts, pieces of Eden, that could change the course of history. However, with his death at the end of Assassin's Creed 3, we faced a creative crossroads. And like I said, that's where it started to go downhill. That's where we lost a lot of the talent. That is just, yeah, that's the line for me. He goes, the continued focus on characters hunting for Isu artifacts made the narrative more predictable and reduced the conflict between Templars and Assassins to straightforward pursuit of control over, let's be honest, magical relics. This shift pulled focus away from what had always been at the heart of the franchise, exploring history. Yes, it did become an Isu hunt, but exploring history in the context of looking for those and how important they are to find them before they are then found and used in modern day was the crux. It felt like even being back in time, you were against it because in the real, because you weren't technically back in time, you were just experiencing someone's dream. My point is, even when you were in this historical setting, you still felt the relevance to the first because you were like racing the Templars for knowledge and power and control. It's the whole thing. Anyway, as this approach became repetitive, both players and critics felt the modern day storyline had become a secondary concern because you made it a secondary concern, more of a side quest because they made it this, and now they're complaining that that's what we felt rather than an integral part or integral. I've heard it both ways. Part of the overall experience, he admitted. Furthermore, the compounded complexity of 15 years of lore. Oh, fuck off. Could have 100 years of lore and it still would have been able. And you put most of it in the comics and the books. The compounded complexity of 15 years of lore built in this parallel storyline created a cognitive load, giggity, that made the franchise difficult to approach for newcomers. It really didn't. It's real easy to explain in a few seconds the whole idea of a past civilization and that we're all fighting over their powerful artifacts. Oh, look, I just did it. Cotier and Ubisoft plan to change this beginning with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and that's why I have no faith in everything he just said. So how are they going to make any of this? Are you going to suddenly say Desmond's back alive and he's the one reliving these artifacts? Because the distinct changes originally with the Animus, which is the device that is used to explore your genetic memory, you needed the person. So if my great ancestor was someone super important, you needed me. But moving forward in the games, they changed it to all they need is some of your blood. They don't even need you. So just having a bit of DNA, and they can test anyone. They don't need the actual person to do it, which made it less important and connected to the modern day, because who gives a shit about the modern day if all you need is a sample and you can go to the past and see a skeleton, just take a sample from that. Like, it went to that level. That's where we got Ivor. Does this really need to be explained to them? I guess it does. So here we go. He says, as we move forward, our goal is to put history back at the center of the player's experience. The modern day narrative will serve to enhance rather than overshadow the historical journey. By drawing meaningful contrast between past and present, we aim to restore the balance that was once the hallmark of the franchise. The modern day storyline will explore deeper themes of memory, identity, and autonomy while being trans, gay, and now a bunch of modern politics, I'm sure. How the past shapes who we are, and how controlling this past can impact our future. These themes will allow us to reflect on contemporary issues. Freedom versus control, the power of knowledge, and the tension between individuality and conformity, all through the lens of history. The groundwork for this new direction will take shape with Assassin's Creed Shadows, which will lay the foundation for this narrative evolution that will grow in the years to come. Press all the X's to doubt. Press all the X's to doubt. All evidence to the contrary. We know that Ubisoft is filled with their representation, DEI, inclusion, all the fun things that they have to go to. We saw what they went to with Assassin's Creed Shadows. They went immediately into the modern day gender ideology and make sure that Yasuke and Naoe both have gay romance options. And just stop. You're lying. It's cheap and obvious, and we all see through it. At least this Badger does. So I say play up until like Unity Syndicate. That's all great. Hell, Abubakar Salim, shout out, brother. I even find things to like in Assassin's Creed Origins. But as far as an Assassin's Creed, it stops pretty much being Assassin's Creed after that. Odyssey is very fun. That ain't no Assassin's Creed. That's someone with an Isu artifact, magical artifact, going around in ancient Greek times and explains every magical thing that happened as Isu technology. But that ain't an Assassin's Creed. In Valhalla, it's sort of an Assassin's Creed at the very end, when you find out what happens with Odin and all of them, Isu. But other than that, yeah, a true to form would be to returning back to Assassins versus Templars, with the central modern day protagonist trying to stop something really bad and using the skills he learns in the past to save everyone in the present. But hey, what the fuck? I'm just someone who's played 100% at all the Assassin's Creed up until Mirage, because fuck that game. And what do I know? Anyway, make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.